Hey guys, what's going on? I thought that a really good way to introduce this channel would be to just show off some of my favorite Pokemon. So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually just on the ultimate favorite picker, and I've already chosen everything. I didn't want to waste any time. I just kind of wanted to show these guys off. And yeah, I think I just jump right into it. So normal for Gen 1 is Farfetch'd. Really just between this and Eevee, but I realized I really like Farfetch'd. And I'm really just going to go here and look at the ones that are notable to me. I'm not going to explain every single pick. Ivysaur is one that stands out. I've always really liked its 2D model. As far as Gen 1 goes, I really think my favorite is Lapras. It's just a really iconic Pokemon, and it kind of is the definition of what a Pokemon should be to me. Both cute and kind of menacing. And yeah, I like its typing, its theming, and everything like that. Gen 2, I really like Girafarig. Quilava is probably my favorite middle starter evolution. Ampharos is of course fantastic. And who else do we have this gen? Yanma, Fortress is one of my favorite Pokemon. And who else? I think Omega Ampharos is pretty cool. But I think my overall favorite Gen 2 Pokemon is Fortress. Moving on to Gen 3, we have some pretty typical picks. Water type is Feel, absolutely my boy. I really like Trapinch over Flygon actually. I just think he's cute. As you can probably tell, I like bug types, and Trapinch kind of fits into that bug archetype. Shedinja is one of my absolute favorites. I love its gimmick, its mechanic, and its design. Cradily is really cool. I don't know why, I've always just really liked its design. Redisteel makes funny noises, so I picked him. And I think Primal Kyogre is probably my favorite gimmick form from this generation. I'm not a huge fan of the Megas. I like them all, but none of them really stand out to me due to the Pokemon that they come from. Gen 4, I've always been a fan of Regigigas. Chimchar, Buizel, of course. Torterra is probably one of my favorite starters. Mega is cool. I've always liked Hippowdon as well. And let's see, obviously Giratina, Darkrai, Spiritomb, very normal picks. Gen 5, I think a really underrated Pokemon is Darumaka. Really like this whole line, but Darumaka has just always been really cute to me. Got Oshawott, Whimsicott, Joltik is the Dinky Dinky, he's so funny. Yeah. Victini is maybe my favorite Pokemon. I just really like it. I like the theme around it. I like its design, its moves. It's really cool. Gen 5 has probably the highest concentration of my favorite Pokemon. Has some amazing bug types like Volcarona, Dwebble, Escavalier, obviously Scolipede, Joltik, Galvantula. Just so many good mons. And then Garbodor is my favorite gimmick form. I honestly really like Garbodor and Trubbish, but it only really fit into the gimmick form. And my favorite Unova Pokemon is probably Victini. And then moving on to Gen 6, Fennekin's probably my favorite starter. I don't really like any of the other starters that much. I mean, obviously Greninja is cool, but yeah. Clauncher is really cool. I don't know why I like him, but I just thought he had a really concise and nice design. Trevenant is also obviously very, very cool. One of my favorites when these games came out. Aegislash is a big pick for me. And I think for that gen it's it, other than the legend being the 10% Zygarde, which I think is probably my favorite, just because he a dog. Moving on to Gen 7, we have Komala, Litten, Pikachu, Decidueye. Decidueye is probably my favorite starter. Overall, I really like this guy. Charjabug is one of my favorite Pokemon because of its cry, it's shiny, and its whole line is really good as well. Alolan Raichu is also one of my favorites. I got him there. The best Lycanroc. Turtonator is very cool. I really like Alolan Muck. I don't really care for normal Muck, but Alolan Muck is cool. My favorite type is probably Primarina, and I think my favorite regional form, one of my favorite mons ever, is Alolan Ninetales. And my favorite legendary is Type Null. I thought Type Null was super cool when I played through those games for the first time. I was super jealous of Gladiant. I wanted to get Type Null and play with it through my playthrough. And I thought it was really cool that another character had a legendary at such an early point. Hisuian Zoroark is obviously incredibly cool. I like it a lot more than normal Zoroark. I had a alpha one that I played through my first playthrough of Legends Arceus with, named Cake, who I really enjoyed. Hisuian Typhlosion is one of my favorite starter lines, mixed with one of my favorite types, Ghost. Really cool. Really good expression in the games as well. Appletun, Dragon types. I really like Galarian Darmanitan for some reason. Galarian Slowbro is for nostalgic reasons. Me and my friend shiny hunted Galarian Slowpoke before the DLC came out, and so when it came out, we evolved ours into Slowbro and got to see those first. I really like Frosmoth. I know it's not a super common pick. People like Snom a lot more, but I like the whole line, and I think that Frosmoth is a kind of an underrated design. It's really elegant, even though it's very much a glass cannon. And then other than that, I think my only real notable pick is Gigantamax Toxtricity. I feel like this is a G-Max form that gets really overlooked, but I really like it. I think it, even that big of a fan of Toxtricity, but I think this Gigantamax form perfectly encapsulates the essence of that Pokemon. Moving on to Gen 9, Farigiraf is just fantastic. I was so excited that they got a new evolution, because I've always liked Girafarig, and I kind of got reminded of that through Brilliant Diamond Shiny Pearl, and so seeing this was really cool. Armarouge is very cool. Mega Man guy. Palafin has one of the coolest abilities that they've introduced recently. Slitherwing is one of my new favorites. Just this giant moth that can beat you up. But other than that, I think the only real noticeable things are Wuxian. I love that they made a snail legendary Pokemon. That's such a, I guess out of the box idea, but I really like it. Fido is super cute, and yeah. Then overall, we have Girafarig, Torkoal, Spheal, Decidueye, Joltik, Galarian Darmanitan, Slitherwing, Scolipede, Palisand, Yanmega, Victini, Shedinja, Cradily, Chandelure, Appletun, Absol, Scizor, Fido, Decidueye, Alolan Ninetales, and my favorite Pokemon overall is probably Decidueye. Down here, I obviously really like bug types, so they're my favorite type. This is just a random team I put together of Mons that I kind of like, but it's really hard for me to decide. I think the really only notable things here, Dream Ball is excellent. What else do we have? And yeah, I don't think anything down here is too interesting. I do really like Cradily as a fossil, and I chose this Vivillon because it looks like it's snowing. And yeah, I thought this would just be a fun idea. I've seen a lot of people do it, and I thought this would be a good introduction, and I hope you enjoyed. See you later.